James Lynch here for Fightful. I am with Ian Butler, who's going to be fighting this Saturday at Bellator 214. And Ian, thanks so much for having me in your hotel room. We're going to play some Goldeneye, which is one of my favorite games of all time. How stoked are you to play some Goldeneye?
Super stoked. I haven't played this in over probably 10 years. I seem pretty old right now, but yeah.
It's all good. We got a lot to talk about. Obviously a big card, but scenario. Now, I used to play License to Kill. How do you want to play this? It's totally cool with me. Whatever scenario you want to do. Because License to Kill is the one where you get shot and then you die and then you remorph again.
Let's do License to Kill.
Okay, cool. Let's do. So we'll do License to Kill, and we'll do level. What do you want to do?
I like the tempo.
Tempo. Okay. We'll stick with the tempo and game length. Do you want to do first to 10 points?
Let's do first to 10.
Weapons. Do you want to do pistols? Obviously, if it's License to Kill, or do you want to do like heavy artillery or what?
Let's do heavy artillery.
Yeah, I think it's power. Let's see here. Throwing knives, automatics, power weapons. That's what we want to do. Okay, cool. Let's get into it. I think it automatically picks our characters. Yeah, I'm Bond and you're Natalia, unfortunately, but that's that. But dude, let's talk about this card, man. Obviously you're a Bellator veteran at this point. I think we'd say that. You fought for them a couple times, but what does it mean to be on the same card as Fedor Emelianenko, man, at the Forum?
It's big time. It's amazing, man. And Fedor's an absolute legend. So it's a dream come true to fight with Fedor.
And you're just telling me, I've known about you for a while. First time I'm getting to interview you. It's so cool we get to do it over a game of Goldeneye. But, you're originally from Missouri, and I know you actually trained with Tyron Woodley. He was one of the guys that got you into the game. Just talk about your relationship with him. And, do you guys still keep in touch at all, or is he gotten kind of...
Not as much. Since he's like world champ right now,
There we go.
God, you got me. Not as much, because he's been all over the place. And even when I first started training with him, I was an amateur at the time. Mm-hmm. And he was just getting started. And every time he did his training camp, he was over at American Top Team at the time.
Right.
And he just started his gym, ATT. And he wanted to help me get started with it and to help him out. And I did that for a little bit. And then, we kind of... lost touch, but every time he sees me, he always gives me love and everything, and always wishes me well for my career, and
That's great, man. And the nickname Silverback, what's the story behind that?
So I got that after my first ever fight, and I was super nervous, obviously, and then I ended the fight with a nasty ground and pound, and then the rest is history from there.
Speaking of being history, look at that.
Yeah,
but no, that's interesting. And now you train at a great gym. You're just telling me this off air. You're with the team over with Jason Perillo, training with Chris Cyborg, RDA. Like, how cool is that? Every day you go in there, you're training with just absolute killers.
It's tough. It's world champions all the way around, And then it seems like so surreal because my favorite fighter of all time was BJ Penn, and now I actually I trained with him for
when he fought Ryan Hall.
And then I trained with him when he fought Yair. Obviously it wasn't a good fight for BJ. But it was just meeting him and everything else was just so great. And he's a world class guy. And I've been super blessed. And
you haven't been super blessed in this game.
No, I haven't.
I to go for my
I haven't.
Oh, there you go.
Gotcha. All right, we're on the board. I've been super blessed to even train with Tony Ferguson and stuff like that, and BJ's his mentality in general is just so amazing, man. As soon as I met him, he goes, "Hey, what's up, I'm BJ Penn." Obviously I know who he is, but it's.
Can you imagine if you didn't know who he was?
I know.
An MMA fighter.
Yeah,
you should be banished from the sport forever.
Yeah, I know. But it's just That was the amazing part. He
so humble
that he introduces himself, and I'm like, dude, you're a Hall of Famer. You probably don't give a crap about me, But he was just so amazing, man.
Yeah.
And it was just life changing, just meeting him and just being in the same circle and training with them for those training camps.
So you're back with Bellator. Your opponent, I believe, Craig Prickett. I believe that's how you say it, or how? What?
Prickett, Plaskett. A lot of people's been having a hard time to say.
Yeah, that's why I kind of tiptoed around it a little bit. So I'll let you make a mistake of anything. But what do you know about him? You're sort of at the. You're a veteran. I think at this point, you know what your skill set is. I'm sure there's a bit of game planning, but really, you're going to focus on the skills that you bring to the table as opposed to worrying so much about your opponent.
Absolutely, and I think that's so. When I first came into the sport, and when I first came into Bellator, man, it was a situation that I had to fight my heroes, and I had to get over a mental hurdle, and I was always thinking about what they were doing and over time, just being a veteran and having great people like BJ Penn and RDA was just obviously just focused on what I'm doing. You know, I know he's a brawler. I know he likes to take it to the ground a little bit, but I mean, my background was wrestling my whole life. You know, wrestled at Lindenwood. I did a short stint at Mizzou for a little bit, and then and then my striking with Jason Perillo. So obviously, I'm just focused on my skills. I know what he brings to the table, but I'm not really worried about it.
I'm worried about the fact I can't find you right now.
Yeah,
What's
no,
going
I'm
on
trying
this
to find
map?
you too. I think you're upstairs.
Yeah, and you're downstairs.
Yeah.
We got to change that right now. I gotta get downstairs and figure this out. But yeah. So and you know, training camp went well. I mean, you know, it's funny. We were talking about this off air. Like they, you know, Bellator. I think some of the sites don't have you listed on this card, but you've known about this fight for a while.
Yeah, I've been signed for this fight for 3 months or so. You know, so yeah, I knew I was on this card, and I wasn't even gonna fight Craig. I was gonna fight somebody else actually, and then gotcha.
Yeah, you got me from behind there. All right, we're tied 2
I'm coming back.
Yeah,
coming back. Yeah, I knew about this fight 3 months ago. I actually wasn't even gonna fight Craig. I was gonna fight somebody else. And he pulled out, obviously, and then...
You thought you were going to fight Craig and then...
Yeah, I was going to fight Craig. I was going to fight somebody else, and then Craig stepped in, you know, so...
So now you're fighting Craig.
I mean, I'm staying focused on the game a little bit.
Yeah. As I have no weapon.
Yeah, so I was gonna fight somebody else. Craig stepped in, so I knew about this like 3 months ago, but obviously media, like... Bellator can do a better job of posting their fights later on. Obviously, they're focused on the main card in the main event with Fedor and
Ryan
Bader,
yeah.
You know, and Aaron Pico and Henry Corrales, you know, and then so it's not like I'm showing up on a week's notice. Like I've been.
No, you've had some notice for this fight. Now, this is in California. You're from California, or you live in California now. You know, how far away do you actually live from where we are right now?
Like 40 minutes away. 45.
Okay, but then you add in traffic, it's like 5 hours, right?
Yeah, California traffic is a different
story.
story.
I hear it. Yeah, I hear it's a different animal. Speaking of being a different animal, here's where the comeback comes in here. So that's good. Yeah, and you know, obviously the cut's going well. I mean, you're in a good mood.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't be. You know, usually I don't like doing interviews with fighters during fight week sometimes because you know, obviously they're cutting weight. But I mean, you're in a great mood. So
no, I love it. You know. I mean, obviously, I don't love cutting weight, but like going up to 70. When I first started my Bellator career, I was at 55, and then it just wasn't a smart move for me to do that, you know, at all. And then, God,
speaking of not,
I tried to run away because I had a pistol and you had a machine gun.
What happens?
No, but it's fighting at 70 is a life changer, man. I think the sport's going toward that anyway. You know, not so big like dramatic weight cuts and stuff like that. You know, and that's what I like and that's what I love.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a change in that. You know, fighters are kind of you know, making the decision to to not get. You gotta pick up some.
I didn't have a gun.
No mercy. And then, you know, in terms of the style matchup, like how do you see this fight playing out on Saturday? Like, what can fans expect for people who might have not seen you in the cage before?
Yeah, like I'm a pressure guy. Like I like applying pressure, and then like so hopefully like I like to go to decision to just display my skills. Honestly, like I wanted to go all 3 so I can get some mat time in for sure.
Yeah.
Get some Bellator cage time because it's been a while since I have done that for sure, especially after my last fight with Joey Davis in the Bellator cage was pretty short. So, you know, so I definitely want to spend some more time in the cage doing that, and then so hopefully I can spend some time doing that, and hopefully maybe he might fold. You know, like he tends to gas a little bit, so hopefully I can get him in the late of the second or in the third. You know, and if it goes all 3, it goes all 3.
And what's the plan after this? Is to stay with Bellator, just, you know, keep picking up wins? Because I know sometimes, you know, Bellator doesn't come to California all the time, so right. I'm sure you want to stay active and just, you know, see what's out there.
That was the thing, you know. So that's the reason why I moved to California in the first place, just because.
Damn it!
That was a good shot. I didn't aim. That was a good shot.
That just shows you the power of the shot. So we're getting, what are we at? 5-6. So we're coming up here. Yeah, no, and obviously, you want to stay active, and there are a lot of promotions out here, which is great. And I know LFA comes here a lot as well too, so that I'm sure that's a nice option for you as well. If
LFA is, and we are in talks with a very big promotion right now because this is like my last fight on my deal.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe you might see me over in one if Bellator doesn't renew. I know Bellator loves me. Yeah. And I've been in Bellator for like the last 4 years, and they've been awesome, because that's the one thing. Like when I moved here from St. Louis, after I moved here, they went to St. Louis, so which is pretty funny. And I was like, hey, can you guys get me on the card? And they're like, it's kind of full right now. And
look at that, we killed each other. Yeah.
Okay.
So what happens there?
So, damn, I think I died first, kind of. So, so they opened up my contract so I can stay active, and that's why I can do shows like OC Fight Club. I can do LFA. I can go to Glory, even though Bellator Kickboxing is now alive now, and stuff like that, But I even told Scott Coker I'm more than happy to do Bellator Kickboxing if they want me to.
There's a lot of options.
A lot of options, and we have a really good relationship, So.
That's great. And who's going to be in your corner for this fight on Saturday? You talked about some big names at the camp. Who's going to be in the cage with you?
Jason Perillo, for sure.
Awesome.
God, missed the first one. Jason Perillo. I have Brett Bomback, who I've been wrestling for a long time. He wrestled at Stanford. And then... Great.
Run for I know. I'm coming to get you.
Jake Ellenberger will be there for support. Benny Daliush will be there for support.
I got to hear Jake on... he was on Joey Diaz's podcast the other day. I got to
really?
check that out. Yeah, he was on there, unless it was an old episode, but I checked the podcast feed. I haven't listened, but he's great when he's on Joey Diaz's show.
Dude, he's a great human being, man. Such a nice human being. Awesome mentor to have. I think he has, I believe, over like 40 fights.
He's still the only guy to knock out Jake Shields in the first round. I mean, that speaks for itself. I know Jake had a lot going into that fight, but that looks good.
Of course, I think he lost his dad and everything, and he was coming off of the GSP title run, the title fight, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So, I do know he had a lot going on, but
hey, looks good on the resume for Jake.
It does. He's amazing.
Speaking of, oh my God. You got me. Dude, congrats.
Thanks, man.
Hopefully a sign of things to come this weekend, for sure. Just tell the people at home where they can find you on social media, any sponsors you got, anything like that, man. The floor is yours.
Yeah, for sure. On social media, you can find me at Ian Butler MMA on Instagram, Facebook, all the Twitter, all of it. Sponsors, Classic Tattoo. Thank you guys. Progenics. Thank you. 7 Motors, thanks. Rise, Muay Thai, and Costa Mesa, definitely hit us up. That's our gym. And all my support, thank you guys. I have a lot of good sponsors, so I lost my head a little bit right there. But thank you guys. Always hit me up on social media. I'm always open. DM me. So, yeah.